Another day, another video. Hello and welcome back to ShopX. In this video, we guys will be integrating our TypeORM with Node.js and Express. If you haven't seen the previous videos where we have installed Node.js, Postgres and also learned some basics of Node, Postgres and Express, kindly watch them. It will be very beneficial for you. But if you have watched that, we are good to go. So first thing first, let's open our terminal, and onto our terminal we shall be installing TypeORM. First of all, so for that purpose you should be writing here a command of npm install TypeORM, just like this. Press enter. Alright, TypeORM is installed under our entire project. So now we can be moving under our package.json file, and here you can see TypeORM is under our dependencies. We are good to go. So first thing first, under our source, first of all we shall be creating a new folder called as authentication, that is auth. And under our auth, first of all I shall be creating two different folders. First of all, I shall be creating a new folder for all the entity. So here let's have a folder known as entity, and also we shall be creating a new folder known as repository. So first of all, under TypeORM, let's understand the concept behind the entity. Now consider an entity just as a model that we need to define for our data. So under our Postgres database, we are going to define a user, which will be a new table. And under our table, we are going to have three different fields, that is its name, his email and also the password of the user. Our table is also gonna be containing a new field known as ID, but it will be a primary key, so it won't be counted. So for structuring our entire model, we need to take help from entity. So first of all, I will be creating a new file called as user, and first of all I shall be importing everything from TypeORM. So here let's say import everything from TypeORM, that is ORM. And here first of all we shall be having a decorator of entity. So here let's have decorator of entity, and here under our entity, first of all we need to give here a table name that we need to define. So here I will be creating a new table known as user, just like this. And once we have provided here the decorator of entity, I will be creating a new class that we will be exporting. So here let's create a new class of user, just like this. So under our class of user, we are going to define an entire new model. But if you hover over our user, it will be saying that experiment support for decorator is a future that is subject to a future release. So for that purpose, you can simply quick fix it by enabling experimental decorators under our configuration file. So if you go under our tsconfig file, you will be getting the following option of experimental decorators should be true. And along with the following experimental decorators, you need to also write the property of emit decorator metadata to be true, just like this. And once we have done this, the error will be gone. So after this thing, first of all we need to define all the columns under our database. So first of all I am gonna be having a new primary column, that is a primary generated column, and the primary generated column shall be taking a type. So here I will be writing increment, just like this. And under our primary generated column, it will be simply having here a key name to be ID, and the ID will be nothing but simply a string. So let's add a string. But as we are using TypeScript, we need to ensure that the following ID is not null. So you can add an exclamation in front of the following key value and the error will be gone. So after having the primary generated column, we need to have our other columns as well. So here let's have a new column, that is a new decorator of column, just like this. And you know what, under the following column you can define various data of a particular column. For example, I can define the type of my column. So here I will be defining my column to be variable character, that is varchar. And after that I can also write here a new property of nullable, that the following property, that is column should not be equal to null. And I will be simply adding the property to be true, just like this. You can also add a new property here to be of unique. But you know what, our username can't be unique because the user email can be unique but not the username. So for that purpose you can write the property of unique to be false. We don't need this is. Alright, format document first. Cool. So after mentioning some of the properties under our column, I will be having here a name, that is username, which will be not null. And here I will be adding a property to be a type to be the username. Once we have defined our next column, I will be copying the following command, that is column, and paste it here. But here instead of username, let's have a second property which will be a user email, and here it will be unique to be true. So let's add a unique property to be true. And after this we shall be having one more column for the user password. So for that purpose I will be adding here a property of password. So once we have created the following table, that is model of our table of user, The next thing we gotta do is creating a new repository for the user. So for that purpose, I will be writing here user.repo.ts, and as always, I will be simply importing everything from type ORM. So here let's say import everything from type ORM, just like this. And first of all, I will be having here a property of entity repository, and under my entity repository, I need to give here an entity name, that is the user itself. So I can copy the name and paste it here. And after this, I will be creating a new class which will be exported. So here let's create a new class known as user repository, and the following thing shall be extending with repository. So here let's have repository. Now as we have done this, let's import the following repository from our type ORM, and also let's import the following user from, that is user entity, from user as well. And here I will be providing here argument to be the user itself. So first of all, under our repository, we need to create different methods of our user. So first of all, let's start with CRUD operations. And under our CRUD operations, first of all, let's start with creating a new user. So for that purpose, let's add a comment of create a new user, just like this. And under this, first of all, I will be creating a new method of create user itself. So under my create user, it will be taking two different arguments of request and response. So for that purpose, I will be importing request and also the response, alright, response from express. So here under codes, you should be writing express, just like this. And here let's give it a type to our request to be a request, and also I will be having a response to be a response. Cool. So under our method, we are going to be creating a new user. So for that purpose, I can simply say let user should be equal to a new user, just like this. And once we have created the new instance of the user, I can simply say user dot. After pressing dot, you shall be getting all of the parameters available for our user. So first of all, what we are gonna be doing is go back under our user entity, and here instead of password, I will be calling it a user password. It will be more precise. And to assert the following data of the user to the user, what we can really do is add here a user dot username should be equal to any name. So for this purpose, I will be calling her name to be Abhishek, just like this. I can simply say user dot user email should be equal to my email, just like this. And also we are going to be requiring a password, so let's add a new password. Cool. So under user password, I will be calling here my name itself. Why not? Cool. So once we have done this, we are good to go. So once we have provided all the values to our instance, I can simply call a new method from our repository itself. So here I will be simply calling let user data should be equal to under await state, cause we need to await for our type ORM to save our data. So for using await, you need to create the following method to be asynchronous, just like this. And here I will be simply saying await this dot, and after pressing dot, you will be getting all of the following properties that type ORM shall be giving to you. Now don't be get jumbled up by saying all of the following properties. First thing first, we shall be simply saving the following item under our repository. So for that purpose, I will be calling save method from our type ORM, and under this I will be simply saving my entire user that we have just defined here. So once we have defined our user data here, what we can really do is add explicit parameters to our Express server. So here I can simply say return response.send the following user data, just like this. Format document first. Now under the following method, first of all, we are creating the instance of a user. We are assigning the value to the properties of user, and also we are saving the user data under our repository by calling this dot save. And once we have completed this thing, we are simply sending all of our response to our server, that is Express server. So once we have done all of the following thing, the next thing we gotta do is go back under our auth and create here a new file known as auth controller.ts. And under our auth controller, first of all, I will be having a new class of auth controller. And under our auth controller, we are gonna be having different properties, that is methods for our authentication. So first of all, I will be having a new static method. So here let's have a static async create user. It will be taking two different arguments of request and response. Now you may see that the following request and response is added here, but if you hover over it, it will be under a type of interface and we don't need this. So for managing that thing, we can go back under our user repo and copy request and response from Express, just like this. And now if you hover over it, it will be under a type of interface of our Express thing. So under a method, first of all, I will be calling my entire user repository. So for that purpose, I can simply say let manager should be equal to await to be a get manager. Let's call this thing. The following thing shall be imported via type ORM, and under a get manager, I will be simply calling out get repository, that is get custom repository, and under this I will be calling my entire repository of user repository. So let's copy this thing, paste it here. Let's import our user repository. Cool. And once we have done this, we can go at the bottom, and here I can simply say await manager. Let me call my manager, and after writing manager, I can simply call my method of create a new user. It should be requiring two different arguments of request and response, just like this. And once we have done this, we are good to go. So before trying our entire auth controller, we can go back under our user repo, and here we can copy the following piece of line, remove it from here, and add a try block, and also let's add a catch block. Under our catch block, I will be catching all the error, and here I can simply say response.send my entire error, and I can paste my following try block under the following case. So once we have created our auth controller, let's go back under our source and create a new file of routes.ts, just like this. And first of all, I will be importing router from Express module. So here let's say import router from Express, and here I can simply say constant router should be equal to a function of router, just like this. And here I can simply say router dot post. Under a post, I can simply add here a new path of add, and under this I can simply call my auth controller. So here let's say auth controller. Alright, before calling it out, let's go back, and here we need to export our auth controller. So let's add the keyword of export. So let's go back, and here I can simply call out my auth controller, and from our auth controller I can call the method of create user, just like this. And once we have done this, we can export our entire router. But before heading on, we need to go under our source and create a new file called as orm config, alright, config.ts, just like this. And under our orm config.ts file, you need to paste the following options, that is the configuration. So first of all, we are importing join from our path, which is a default module in Express. After that, we are calling connection options from type ORM. After that, we are getting here a following configuration for our local database, under which you need to provide host, the user, the password, as well as the database. Easy. And after that, we are calling the entire method of connection options. Under this, we have provided everything that is necessary. So first of all, under the case of entity, you need to provide here the user entity. So let's copy the following name and paste it here. Let's import the following user entity, just like this. We can go back under our app.ts, and here first of all we need to simply configure our Express server. So for that purpose, you should be writing app.use, and under this you should be writing express.json. We need to fetch all the JSON data, and after that you should be writing app.use express.url encoded. Under this property, you should be writing here explicit type of extended to be false. And once we have done this, you should be also having a new port. So here let's have constant port to be 8080 by default, just like this. And after that, I will be calling my method of create connection. So here let's have method of create connection, and here under the parameters, first of all we shall be passing configuration as connection options. So here let's have connection options. Let's import it from our type ORM, just like this. And here we can add a phrase of then. It will be taking a value of connection, and this will be throwing a new arrow function, just like this. Now the method is going to be asynchronous, so you need to denote the following thing to be async. So first of all, let's import the following declaration, and here we need to import the following thing from ORM config. So let's paste it here, and the error is gone. Cool. So let's throw the arrow function here. Cool. So everything is okay and we are good to go. So first of all, under our create connection option, we need to simply instantiate everything that we have declared here. So we can copy everything from this side and paste it here. Just format document first. So after defining our port, what I'm gonna be doing is simply say app.use, and here I will be having my default router. So here I will be simply say app.use my entire router, just like this. And the following router is imported from our route.ts files, which consist of all the routes for our application. So once we have imported everything, we are good to go. So now we can simply listen to our favorite port. So here let's say app.listen to our port, and let's throw an arrow function as well. Why not? So under our arrow function, we can simply say console.log, and under our console.log, we can simply log that server is rocking at the following port. So let's add dollar quotation and add our port just like this. So this is the entire create connection that you need to provide. You can also do one thing, catch the entire error. So here you should be writing catch error just like this. And once you have caught the following error, you can console log the error. So let's say console log my entire error, format document first. So once we have done this, we are good to go. So before moving forward, you should be moving under extensions, and under extension you should be installing the extension of Postgres. So let me go down, and you need to install the following extension of Postgres. This shall be very beneficial to us. If you see over my extension, I have here an extension configured with my localhost, and under this I have here an entire table of user that we have seen in a previous video while learning basics of Postgres. So now what I am gonna be doing is simply removing off entire user database that we have created. So for that purpose, let's clear it out. Why not? So here I will be creating here a new PSQL minus database of Postgres, and here I will be simply logging as my entire super user of Postgres. Let me enter my password. Cool. So here I can simply drop my entire table, but before dropping off, let's check our entire table by DT. Cool. So we have a table of users. So let's say drop table under code of users, press enter. Cool, we have dropped our table. So now after pressing backslash and DT, we won't be seeing any table. Let's also do one thing, drop our migrations. We don't need this thing for now. Cool, so we have dropped our table. Let's check it out one more time. Cool, so we don't have any relation for now. So now let's come out of it and let's check it out. Why not? So now what we are going to be doing is simply open our Postman. Now if you are not familiar with Postman, it is a free and open source tool for simply sending requests and responses to our server, that is our local host, and also for our global host. So let the following thing to be up and ready. Cool, so until this thing is loading up, what we can really do is go at our routes, and here I will be creating here a default route of router.get under default route of slash. And here we need to create here an empty route. So here let's have a request and also a response, and let's throw an entire arrow function, and under this I can simply say response.send. Let me send a new response under quotes of API is working, just like this. Cool, so now let's go under a Postman. Why not? And if you are new to Postman, I recommend you to watch the following video where I have explained everything about Postman. So before moving forward, let's go under our app.ts, and here I will be importing a new library called as reflect metadata. So here let's add reflect metadata, just like this. Cool, so before moving forward, we also need to import a new library called as pg, which is a driver for our Postgres. So for that purpose, you should be writing npm install pg, press enter. Cool, so our library is imported. Let's clear it off, and now let's say npm run dev, press enter. Cool, so our server is rocking at 8080. Now let's test it out. So now what we are really gonna do is go at our Postman, and here under our localhost of 8080, first of all let's send a get request. So for that purpose, let's go under our body, let's go under our raw, and let's go under JSON. And now after pressing a get request over our localhost of 8080, we are getting the message of API is working. We have successfully set up our Express server. So now if you go back under our entire file, alright, let's minimize it up, and let's go under our routes. So under our routes, you can see we have our new method of post, that is posting a new user under our repository of Postgres. So let's copy the following path. Alright, under our Postman, let's paste it here, and by here let's go under a post request, and now let's send it out. Let's press send. Cool, so we have sent a new request to our Postgres database, and here you can see we are getting our data of username to be Abhishek, user email, user password, and also a new ID. Now we have provided a default arguments under our entire setup. That is, if I go back under my user repo, we had added static data, not dynamic one. So now what we are gonna be doing is remove the following thing off from here and assign some real values. So for assigning some real values, you should be moving under our method and writing here a constant of username, a user email, and also the user password. Why not? And the following thing shall be equal to request.body. So let's add request of body. So now what we can really do is assign the following username to be the username, also user email to be user email, and user password to be the user password. So now let's try it out sending some dynamic data. So let's go under, alright, let's reload it one more time. Cool, so our server is working at 8080. Let's go back under a Postman, and here I will be simply adding some JSON data. So first of all, what we are gonna be needing is a username. So let's add a new username for dungeon. Just like this, let's add a new user email as well. Why not? And after this, let's add some user password. Cool, so now let's try sending it out. Cool, so now you can see we are getting an ID of 2, and also we are getting all of our data from our PostgreSQL itself. So in this way, you can post all of your data under your Postgres database with the help of TypeORM. And you know what, the following tutorial has gone quite long, so in the next tutorial we shall be adding the functionality of getting all of the users from our database, and also we shall be deleting some users as well. So with that said, I will see you in the next one with a part 2 of this video. Till then, have a good day. Goodbye.